For over 400 years, women's fashion centered on changing the female form through elaborate structures and boning. Why, after 4 centuries of structured skirts and bodices, did fashion go from this to this to this, all in the space of 20 years? The empire waist, streamlined style of dress, known as the Regency dress, first came into haute couture during the 1780s. The dress is now famous for its romantic appearances in Bridgerton, Jane Austen, and countless other period dramas. The style would even crop back up in the 1910s, the 1960s, the 2000s, and even today in its 2020s revival. But where did this revolutionary style of dress come from that praised the female form? The commonly held belief is that these dresses were part of the Neoclassical revival at the end of the Enlightenment, the fresh look spearheaded by fashion pioneers, such as Empress Josephine Bonaparte, the Merveilleuse, and Thérèse Italienne. These diaphanous dresses, with a just under the bust waistline, were adopted from the classical Greek and Roman statues. While the Neoclassical revival was a contributing factor to the style revolution, the focus on Western thought erases the pivotal Caribbean, African, Indian, and East Asian influences that birthed this unique style. White appropriation of people of color's appearance, culture, and style stretches back far longer than just jazz and zoot suits. White enslavers oppressed, trafficked, tortured, and killed millions of Africans. Yet, as the enslavers insisted on the racial inferiority of Black people, the white enslavers took notice of Black style and claimed it as their own. African women and their descendants in the Caribbean developed a signature style that was an artful amalgamation of African, Asian, and European influences. This new Caribbean style was the embodiment of cross-cultural exchange, the Atlantic slave trade, and the new world that was being forged. In 1783, Queen Marie Antoinette of France, whose royal coffers were filled with blood money from the transatlantic slave trade, was painted wearing a robe en gaule, sometimes called the chemise en gaule or chemise à la reine. A gaule was a one-piece dress made of lightweight fabrics, such as cotton, popularized by women of color in the Caribbean to adapt to their hot climate and restrictive colonial governments. Sumptuary laws restricted the traditional markers of station, such as fine silk, to the white upper class. Women of color took the cottons and linens they were permitted and transformed them into a new style of dress, the gaule. Queen Marie Antoinette wearing something popularized by women of color was beyond scandalous in a white supremacist society. Even more so because the dress strongly resembled traditional underwear, or the chemise, making it appear that the Queen of France had been painted in her undergarments for all the world to see. Not only was it underwear, it was expensive imported Indian muslin, nearly as expensive as silk. The Queen wearing extremely expensive underwear-adjacent clothing that marked her as a follower of Black women's trends was a disastrous social catastrophe. Eventually, fashionable white women began wearing the style of dress in Paris, and eventually disseminated throughout the Western world. The Caribbean origins of this trend largely lost to history.